Okay, hi everyone. In this video I'm going quickly through all the photos I did for a headshot of a model which is putting her portfolio through to an agency which deals with Dove. It's a girl which I've done some shoots with before in the past called Yassie Campbell, and she is half something and half Scottish. Her mum is Nigerian, African, anyway, black, and her dad is from Scotland, and so she's a bit of both, mixed race, that's what you call it, and so her look is very unique. It's very different from pretty much anybody you normally see, and she sent some of her shots through to some agency, and they have sent them on to Dove, the soap making people, and they've asked to get some headshots of her, kind of head, shoulders, stuff over her face. Obviously soap you're probably going to be cleaning your face with, and they're wanting it with no makeup, no nothing, just fresh, just as she was. So she contacted me and said, "Dom, can you do some shots?" I was like, yep. Now when it's a headshot, it's not just a straight on smile headshot. You've got to do lots of different poses, different angles, different lighting. And in this we did the full range from no shadows whatsoever to then doing really harsh black shadow, black background and strong kind of beauty dish lighting onto her face. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going through the photos just now, see how they look. Now, first of all, the initial shot. What a shocker that was. This was really me just turning my camera around, taking a photo, realising I hadn't actually set anything. My flashes hadn't been set, my camera wasn't doing anything. I was just checking A, my camera was working, B, the memory card was taking in the photo. So here she just got her top on and her hair is just kind of down. We hadn't set anything out whatsoever. I was also shooting JPEG there, whoopsie, but the JPEG I would say still comes out very nicely. I've added in a lot of light fill there because the JPEG, I think the contrast was quite high on the JPEG. So if I put it to reset, so it's actually pretty dark. It looks like it's fairly underexposed as well. Let's see if we go to the library, let's see if any details here. So exposure bias, no, that was at 0 EV. Exposure was 125th of a second, f4. So that's at the top of my sync speed on my flashes. ISO 400 at 70 millimeters. Cool, okay. Subject distance was 2.24 meters. Okay, and as you can see, that shot is pretty darn dark. It's pretty rubbish. So if I was to use that shot, I would definitely be upping the exposure by maybe a stop, maybe enhancing the brightness as well, and bringing in some light fill, because if you look carefully, her hair is, when there's no light fill, is very dark and you lose a lot of detail here. So if I were to bring back the exposure down to there and the brightness back down to where it was, you see it's just totally black. It is losing a lot of the detail there. So we definitely want to get some more detail in the hair, enhance all of that, and that looks a bit better. But now it's still a shocker of a picture, so ain't going to be using that. So let's go through the first couple. And the first shots we were doing, oh, now what's happened here? Now here what I've done, again this is a JPEG shot, but I've synced it with some of my raw images. You can see it says it's a JPEG because it says it is down here, but I've given it its raw settings, which would be +50, +25. So I just need to click reset and that will bring it back to where it was. And that looks a lot better, but still a bit too dark. Now these shots I would say very dull, not very interesting, not really showing her, but again that's probably not what you're trying to get through to Dove. But we do, if we were trying to make it a better picture, we would enhance it a little bit, give a bit of light fill, maybe contrast down a little bit as well. And as you can see, she's got very, very good soft skin, and she's got these kind of cute little freckles on her and everything, so that's quite interesting. And we are, hold on. And this shot has no shadows on it whatsoever. I did a couple of videos while we're there, so those videos will come up soon in a wee while. And these were just shots with no shadows, but with lots of lights. So the natural light that was in there, you don't see that at all. It's all purely from the flashes. You only see a little bit of shadow, maybe from her hair there, and a little bit underneath her nose, that's about it. Now, sharpness-wise, not digging the sharpness in that one. And I'm not doing the saturation on that one. So yeah, that's when if you shoot in JPEG, there's just very little you can do afterwards. So I'm going to have to bring the vibrance down a little bit. That looks a bit better. Exposure up. It's just not really working well. I'm not enjoying these. So I'm definitely going to have to go take it all the way until we get into the JPEGs. And I'll show you some of the ideas of what we worked on. So again, with model shots, there's a million shots you can take. For example, here, it was just a couple of headshots for her, and we still took 167... Ooh. Still took 167 photos, so that's a lot. So yeah, so the first one's no shadows, no shadows. Now, here they are. Okay, so we've got straight on, lips open, lips closed, and then we've got looking up towards the light, and then head still towards the light, eyes towards camera, and again from the other angle, seeing which side is our better side of her face. If it's me, ooh, can't really tell. It's very difficult to say what is your good side whenever the lighting is just quite as dull as that. So again here, yeah, I definitely need to enhance the exposure. Now with the raw file is brilliant because now I have total control over the temperature of the image. So if I want it to be a warmer image, I'll set the temperature to a higher temperature, so like 7,000. That's a bit too high. And if I wanted it to be a colder colour, then I'd bring it down to like 3,000. But obviously that's rubbish, you don't want to do that. We'd also do a couple maybe in black and white, but I think for this we'll be definitely doing it in the colour settings. And as you can see, even when you move the temperature balance in black and white, it affects the photo. So the tonal ranges are changing, yeah, with the temperature that you use. So let's bring that back to colour. And we can also change the tint. That's not usually so great for skin tones. The other thing is, in Lightroom, you've got two sets of your colour enhancement. You've got vibrance and your saturation. Now your saturation pretty much enhances every colour there is and just kind of really makes it pop. When you increase the saturation, you also slightly degrade the image. You lose a lot of the detail and information in the textures in the photo. With vibrance, that enhances the colours which are less to do with kind of skin tones. It's more the kind of crazy colours. So enhancing the vibrance here, as you can see, the blue in the background has got really blue, but her skin is still fairly close to what skin should be like. If we, let's see, yeah, so that looks, she looks a little bit jaundiced there. Let's see if we can add, yeah, so add in a little bit of purple there. That's her skin back to what I would say is pretty much close to correct. We can always use the dropper thing on her white top. Click on that, and that yeah, cool. So that gives us what should be white. And yeah, so the vibrance is enhanced. All the colours part really from the skin. So bring that up and down. Obviously, it still enhances the skin because the skin's got loads of different colours to it. If we were to do the same with the saturation, watch how it just kind of not so great with, like, she now looks properly like something from The Simpsons there. And if we bring it right down, it's all the colours going away. So generally, I would say, if you're working on portraits, really only play around with the vibrance, up or down. With these shots, again, it's not about the colours in the background or anything. It's really about the model Yassie. Let's look at sharpness around her eye. Oh, wow. Amazing sharpness with my Nikon D300 and 70 to 200mm lens. I've also added, it looks like there's some sharpening being added. Calm that down. Yeah, that's okay. Noise reduction, let's put that on. That looks better. What we can also do is, if we're wanting to soften the skin, then a simple one is just using clarity, bringing that down a little bit. Oh god, you don't want to do as much as that. And bringing it up is a bit scary. So usually I would say the 15 to 20% is all you really need to enhance the skin. But again, probably not needing to do that with these photos because they're wanting to know exactly what she looks like. But just to give you an example of what it looks like from before to after. That was before, that was after. Definitely looks a lot better there. A little bit enhancement of the exposure, a little bit of brightness, a little bit of contrast, and yeah, looks good. And clarity down. So what I'll do is just put the clarity back up to maybe just -5, just a tiny touch. That should do. Cool. Okay, anyway, so that's the first one. I'll pick that one. I like that one. Oh, I kind of like this one as well. So now, because the next whole bunch of shots have roughly had exactly the same exposure, I'll say all the way up to about here, what I'll do is I'll click on this one, which I've edited, go along to the end, so highlight them all, and then click sync. I'll just zoom out a little bit. And in here, I'm going to check all and go to synchronize. And now quickly watch. Each of these raw photos are now having the same exposure and the same, well, just the whole same settings added to it as the first exposure had. So let's see what that looks like. So second photo there, looking a lot better. Third, good. Yep. Brilliant. Okay, great. I'm happy with how all of them have come out. So again, we were working with different shots, like we're bringing the hands into the picture, where you put the hands in the picture, you put the hands on your face, make sure you don't actually have it touching your face, make sure it's just touching. If, you know, like also whenever you're doing the shot, making sure that your shoulders are back, boobs out, bum out, and that will, and also if you have a slight angle, that helps. Also just pushing the chin out, and also just slightly exaggerating your eyeball. So instead of just doing a normal shot like this, but kind of doing psycho eyes. And those psycho eyes, although whenever you're doing it may feel silly, they do actually help in your actual photo, because everyone has slightly different eyeballs. One's either higher or lower, bigger, smaller, one has a bigger eyelid or a smaller eyelid or something like that. So that's why if you do psycho eyes, then it just makes your eyes look bigger and it makes them kind of more better in the photo. That's really it. Okay, so let's go on to the next shot. So here, this was, now what I did here, let's just have a quick look. So here, no shadow, no shadow, nope. No shadow, no shadow, no shadow. Now, here's where I wanted to add some shadow. Because I love shadow. Like, Yassie's got this amazing contoured face. Although very smooth skin, she's got big cheekbones, she's got a strong jawline, she's got, you know, lots of bits to her face, which will work really well with different types of lighting. So here, I started to use what we call a butterfly lighting. And what that is the little light that goes underneath the nose. So that's just pretty much with the light just right above her shooting down onto her. Let's see the next one. Good, happy with that, happy with that. Right, I'm definitely going to add on some more details to this one. Yeah, quite like these. Now, what you'll see is there's a difference between the left and right already. So the camera has already added something on this one. Let's see if we go down. Yeah. So what I've done is I've changed camera calibration to camera portrait. And that will slightly change the photo straight away. If I were to go camera neutral, changed again slightly. If I go to standard, changed again, vivid, changed again. And that's not really changing any of the that's not changing any of the settings, for example, the exposure, the brightness, the contrast, the fills, or anything like that. That is to do with inside your camera, what it thinks is the right details. You've got ACR, which is Adobe Camera something 4, and 4.3. Don't quite know what the difference is there. Adobe Standard. Standard looks a bit purpley. Then there's camera DX, the D2X. So this is kind of camera profiles for the cameras that Nikon brought out before. I don't know where I got these from. I got these ages ago. But if you check on some forum websites, it's a simple download thing, usually free, where you just download it, somehow stick it back into Lightroom. If I'm up doing it, I'll do a video of how to do it again, because I can't remember at all. So that's just something to be aware of, is the camera calibration whenever it's imported into the shot. So for these, I'm going to put them all to portrait, because that should be right. And yes, so there it looks like the contrast has calmed down a little, and yeah, looks good. So anyway, there's that. Here was big eyes action, but I would say a little bit out of focus. Where was I focused? Just past her eyes, so very, very shallow depth of field there. And then this is like close up, straight in her eyes. Wow. Wow. Like that is properly super sharp on her eyes there, like every eyelash and everything. That's the 70 to 200mm lens being awesome. Okay, so now what's wrong with this picture? If anyone can tell me, there's definitely something wrong, and that's there's no catch lights in it. All you can see is the tiny little flash, which is coming from the pop-up flash on my camera, which I'm not wanting. So if I were to really edit this shot, I would actually take that away, because that is annoying me. But there's no proper catch light. And what I mean by catch light is, let's see if we go along to this shot. Here you can see the umbrella in her eye. Much better there. Let's see if there's an even better example. For example, in this shot here, you can really see the umbrella being the catch light in her eye, and it looks a lot better there. And that's something which generally makes a photo more attractive to look at, seeing catch lights. It just kind of brings a sparkle to someone's eyes. But anyway, I'm just going to go through, I'm getting off track here. So, yeah, started doing butterfly lighting, butterfly, and then adding a hair light. So you'll see now we've got light coming down onto her hair. That looks good. And then, yeah, totally different shots, hair up or hair down. In fact, here, there's a good example of that at the start. I'll show you that one. Okay, so here is, I would say, a fairly decent example of how a tiny change in photo can change somebody's face completely. Here, we've got the hair coming down over her face, but then going over the back of her shoulders. Next shot, hair is coming down in front of her face. And to me, I'm seeing a huge difference from shot to shot. It's totally thinning down her face. It's giving shadow to her neck, so it's making her neck look thinner. So, for example, if you look down here, from there to there, having the hair down has really thinned the neck, which is, I would say, more attractive. It's also given her shoulders a lot less kind of breadth because they're hidden as well. So that's just something to be aware of whenever you're taking shots, is not only the hairstyle, but where the hair is on the model. So that's something to be careful of. Let's look at that. So that's a good example of butterfly, or you could call that loop lighting. I'll look into that later on. Now the next thing we did was Rembrandt lighting. And here we've got that's not really rim lighting, that is a hair light, which is also given a light on her cheek. I'm not liking the strength of that light on her cheek. That is a bit annoying me. So let's go to the next ones. Like this one a lot. So this almost looks like an implied nude shot because it looks like she's wearing nothing at all. So first of all, definitely want to enhance it. Let's increase exposure to 1 stop. Let's give light fill of +15. Let's bring clarity down. Yeah, that's done. Vibrance we could bring up to 25. Let's warm it up just a touch. Let's give it a slightly stronger tonal curve. Curves are usually a lot better for keeping in the detail and the tones in your image than doing the contrast. Contrast usually blows it out. But yeah, I really like that shot. And there's something about that. In fact, that would look really good if it was like low vibrance. Yeah, I like that one. I like it when it's kind of desaturated in this one. This one's quite nice. But again, that's what I'm liking. That's probably not what the people are wanting. But here might be quite a cool one where you can play around with the saturation. So again, in Lightroom, you've got all these different things where you can play with the luminance, the hue, the saturation. So for example, the luminance, if I were to bring the blue up, that would mean the background would go white. Let's see. Close enough to white. Yeah, it's a little bit better. If I bring it down, it'll be more to black. Also interesting. So yeah, quite a few different possibilities there. I quite, ooh, difficult to tell which one I like. I think if I bring it down to blue, we're getting a lot of noise in the background. Actually, no, it's cleaned itself up all right there. I like that. Now, stuff which you shouldn't really change around too much are the orange, the reds, and the yellows, especially with skin tones, because if you enhance that, well, if you enhance the orange, you kind of lose a lot of texture in the skin. Bring it down, it looks like you've got kind of skin disease, or it looks like one of those UV photos where they see all the skin damage you've done if you bring the oranges and the yellows, and let's see if the reds doesn't look good at all. So usually don't play around with them too much. Same with saturation, it's alright to desaturate, I think that's okay, but trying to enhance the saturation too much is not going to work too well here. So I am just going to bring them back down to normal. Blues, saturation wise, we can have it really strong. Oh, I like that. There's something about that shot I like. Now, first of all, I want to tell you is that the lighting we've done is Rembrandt Lighting. And what that is this triangle of light on her cheek here. So that's with the flash over to the side. Again, I'll show you a video of that, of how we did this shot later on. But yeah, quite like that. That's a very good shot. Cool. I'm going to keep that as my own one. So I'll press P to keep that one, but what I'll do is also right click on it and create a virtual copy. So this will probably be the one which she will want, and I'll just kind of calm down everything. So the vibrance, put that back to normal, and clarity back there, luminance, get that sorted, back to where it was. Light fill down. Okay, so that was the kind of how it should be, I think. Good way to double check is before and after. Yeah, I love that. Cool. Okay, so that was the Rembrandt lighting shot. That was the straight on ones that we did. A couple of those different ones. And again, just working on, really is the eyes that you've got to work on. Here again, brought in a hair light from the background. I'll just zoom out there. And again, let's just enhance the shot. So plus a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. I like that one as well. So work on all of these. Good, good, good. Oh yeah, I do like it when she has a little bit of a smile on it, because she's got, it's a very kind of young, well, she is very young, that'd be why. It's a very young looking face, and a little smile there's kind of a little cheeky as well, I think. So let's just enhance that one a touch. What I really should have done is just done some in-camera exposure compensation to make it a little bit brighter. But yeah, liking that, tone curve up and down, that looks good, like that one again. Background, not really seeing any distractions, even though this was just kind of in my new place. I've got massive strand of hair coming out the side there. If I could be bothered, I'd probably take that out, but I'm not really that bothered. I might also just take out some noise reduction as well. That's better. Okay, yeah, that's good, that's good. Let's see, okay, I'm happy with that shot as well. Let's go along. Ooh, now look at the slight difference in focus. That one, unfocused. This one, in focus. Yeah. So once it's actually loaded, really to the focus. And you can see the umbrellas and the eyes. That looks great. Let's definitely add in noise reduction. That looks a lot better there. Yeah. Great skin as well. Definitely a good advert for Dove, I would say there. But just, oh, now see, so here's the difference. This shot, or this shot, this shot, this shot. So two shots, that one, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. I'm trying to figure out which one I like more. Left, right. I think right, totally. This one is better. Her eyes are a little bit bigger. Maybe. Whew, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to tell. Both pretty good. Like them a lot. Ooh, difficult. Okay, anyway, let's go on. So yeah, oh, now, and then we went and we started working on short lighting and broad lighting. Now that's another technique in flash photography and kind of painting as well, which is brought into whenever you're doing Rembrandt or butterfly or loop or all those different types of lighting. So yeah, working on these shots. So this was kind of more upper body and head shots. Now these look slightly too overexposed. Yeah, so calm that down to 1. Contrast, keep that at 25. Check the detail in the face. Looking good. So if we were to click on the histogram, tops and bottoms, there's nothing overexposed, nothing underexposed. If we enhance it too much, there you can see that is all overexposed. And if we bring it down too much, all the blue bits are what are too underexposed, so you can't rescue it. So right in the middle, let's bring it up to about there. That is looking good. Yeah, that's better. Done. Okay, cool, like that. Like that one as well. Now what we were doing is the different ideas of short and broad lighting on the face and on the body and seeing which ones worked best. And let's see, there's one which I really liked, which I shouldn't like. It was that one. There was something about this photo which I absolutely loved. First of all, why is my mouse falling apart? Come on, Mac. Stay with me. Fixed. Okay, so let's... Oh, bollocks, why is it not working? Okay, so as we can see, there's a little bit of an overexposure on her nose, so we can either do recovery, not a fan of doing recovery too much, or I should definitely bring the exposure down just a touch. Okay, there's something about this which I thought was really something. Really kind of fashion magazine-esque. Very something like you get out of ID. And do you know what it is? It's not her position. I don't think it's the lighting. It's purely in her gaze, where she's looking, and it's that kind of looking off into infinity, which I think I am just absolutely loving about this shot. It's very cool. And like, even when I was taking the shots, there was something I thought, that shot I absolutely love, but I shouldn't love it, but I do. I think it's great. Obviously, the comedy background, I would definitely be cropping that out. It might even make, if I were to do this as shot as one of my own shots, I would probably make it a square photo and have it just something like that. Yeah, and I might even desaturate it even more. Maybe bring the luminance down. Oh, yeah, liking that one. Luminance down. Contrast down? No. Contrast up? No. Contrast exactly where it was? Yes. Saturation down? Black and white? No. Saturation up? No. Definitely vibrance down to about -40. Yeah. I love that. What's that? Is that a dust spot? Let's get rid of the dust spot. Done. In fact, you can see there's a couple of things in the background there. Now that definitely isn't guff on my camera, that is guff in the background. Now, a good way to get rid of that is with if you go up here, you've got the brush tool. And if I just bring the clarity right down, oh god, I'll have to make sure it is just clarity. Clarity down, sharpness down, that should do. And if I kind of brush this over any bits where there's slight changes in the background, that should help get rid of it there. Yeah, that's definitely helped that picture a little bit there. Another thing we can do is general clarity up, no, down, no. Exactly where it was. Yes. Okay. Luminance again, so we could play around with the blue. So the blues, that's why you have blue and green screens in movies, because the green and the blue are the total opposite of skin tones. So that's why it's really easy to uh, cut out everything that's green or everything that's blue. So here we can just enhance the blue in the background and it won't have any effect on her skin or her dress that she's wearing, because it's a black dress. Here it's luminance, don't know, saturation. If we want to get rid of any slight distraction in the background, we can just totally boost the saturation or totally lower it. Oh, lowering it. I love that. I love that. Luminance. Dark. No. Up. Two up. That's two up. Just a little bit grey. That's what I want. I like that. That's good. But now what you'll see is that her arm here is a little bit too orangey. So I'm going to take a little bit of orange. Oh, no, that's the luminance. We don't want to change the luminance. We just want to take the saturation down. Take that down. Just a touch. And maybe red. Just a touch. That's it. That's my shot. I love that shot. Keeping that one. Okay. Now on to the rest of the shots. So here working, again, still short, broad, brilliant. Working really on the shadows that you get on the cheek from the side, that looks good, and also getting good catch lights in the eye there. So these are shots just straight at the camera, I haven't touched these. Let's see, yeah, lots of distracting guff in the background there. Definitely want to get rid of that. Let's see if we just go saturation. Saturation up, that pretty much gets rid of any distraction in the background. Luminance, blue or up, down, better. That's good. And then if we enhance her, exposure, up. And then if we do a little crop, something like that. Get it so that her eyeball is right in the thirds. There. I like that shot. That's nice as well. Next one. Oh, I like that one. Oh God, this is oh, I love that one. Oh, it's sharp, and it's that she was giving big eyes, psycho eyes, and yeah, it's that kind of gaze off into the foreground. I'm loving that. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, strong shadow, strong Rembrandt lighting, short lighting on the face, great shadows, great look into the middle of nowhere, slight enhancement of the exposure. Let's bring it up to there. Let's see if we can change the. I quite like the idea of her just being in the bottom part. Let's see if we can. Oh, good one, mouse. Come on, come on. Connection lost. I know. Connect. See, if you have a Mac, you always need lots of batteries for all their goddamn peripherals that need 1,000,000 batteries every. Oh, rechargeables. So with this shot, there's obviously a little bit of something distracting at the top. Take that out. That looks better. And I'm just wondering if we can put her right down in the corner. Now, for me, oh wait a minute, didn't get rid of the bit at the top. For me, I definitely think something like that would be really good as a photo logo. So again, putting your logo up over the top here would be a good thing. So whenever you're taking photos, think of what the model wants, but also what you could use in your own portfolio. And I quite like this one, but again, definitely lots of guff in the background. So nice big movements there. Let's move it over. Where else have we got? See, spot there, bigger spot there, there. Let's see, any more? That's possibly a spot. That's a spot. Oh yeah, that's a spot there. spot there, spot there. Okay, yeah, so you could spend forever doing this stuff, but try not to. Oh, no, I'm not usually a fan of doing presets, but I just saw something which I thought was amazing. So what I'll do is I'll do create virtual copy. So in the previous shot, we can see what it's like from start to finish. Let's change it. Take off the blue and the red. So that, oh yeah, I like both these shots. That's the start, that was the finish. But what I really like is if in the second one, if I go use one of the presets, look at this, look at this. So here, up here, you get one of the, this kind of gives you a preview of what you'd get if you use one of the presets. Like that one, oh, like that one. No, I don't like antique grayscale. Don't like antique light. High contrast, low contrast. Cool tone. Ooh. No. 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 Auto tone. I do like black and white. I do like aged. Okay, I'm gonna go be brave here and go for aged. Yes. I like that. I like that shot a lot. Although she does kind of look a little bit too yellow. Let's see if we can bring the white balance down. Wee! Play around with that. No. Yeah, just down to around about there. Tint. No. Don't want to make her green. Don't want to make her too purple. Just there. Let's go curves. A little bit of a curve. Noise reduction. Add it. I like that. Okay. Bic. Okay, and then we thought we'd do a little bit more creative ones where we're kind of using hands and messing up the hair and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like these shots. These were very more playful shots. Again, great catch lights in the eyes there. Yep. Like all of these. Great. And then I brought out the beauty dish, and I also started shooting with the Nikon 50mm f1.4, so it's got a super duper shallow depth of field. So shallow that her eyelashes are in focus, but her eyeball isn't. That's how shallow it is. And with using the beauty dish, there's no light hitting all the background and all over the place. So it makes the background pretty much black. And you get this great catch light. Now, to get rid of the catch light of the camera flash out of her eye, what I need to do is take the flash speed so it's above the normal sync speed, so up to 350th of a second. So here, yeah, I was shooting at 250th of a second. And in her eye, she's got 2 catch lights. Then if I take it along to here, there's only 1 catch light, which is from the ring light, and that's at 350th of a second. And as you can see, I'm shooting at f1.7, that's given a super duper shallow depth of field. So this eye in focus, this one totally gooey, bluey, blue. And that's quite cool. I quite like that one. She almost looks like a completely different person there. So yeah, getting a whole bunch of shots there, really working with this very, very shallow depth of field. So here is at f1.7, very shallow indeed. And getting some comedy shots there. I think I'll be sending that as the only one that came out okay to her. And yeah, through to the end there. So yeah, so that was the shoot and that was the shots. And oh yeah, look at that. So this is why a lot of people will send me an email and saying, Dom, what should I get? Should I get a portrait lens or should I get a flash? That was 2 emails that I got today. And I would always say get a flash. You can pretty much take any photo that you want, and if you get a new lens, you will still be able to take the same photos. But if you then start adding flash, then you can do so many cool things with your images so quickly. And here is a great example of what flash did from just completely changing the position. So above, having the beauty dish from above in the normal kind of portrait orientation. Then the next shot, I had it below her. Look at this. Ooh, 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 ooh. So look how the face position doesn't change whatsoever. But changing the shadows and losing the catch lights from her eyes is like something from the film The Ring. Really scary. So that's why I would say always make sure your flash is above the person, never at the same angle or below. Well, same angle sometimes, but below usually no good. So yeah, so look at that. Scary. And yeah, so that was the shots. Some of the photos and the videos of how we do the different types of lighting, the portrait, the Rembrandt, the short and broad lighting, they'll be coming up later on. Okay, so hope that helps. Cheers, bye-bye.